I will not. Besides, I'm clearly the oldest one here. Why not? I don't think it matters who's older than who. You don't really act all that old anyway. Hello and welcome. I am Ash Mannix, and once again, we're playing the house in Fata Morgana. I don't know why it's felt like a long time since I last played this, but it does. I apologise in advance. I have been going through, I've had a cold since a few days ago, and it's been a massive pain in the backside, and it just made me cranky. And it also happens to be ultra warm in the UK these last few days, to such a degree that it's been uncomfortable. So uncomfortably warm. Give me the rain back in a slight chill any day. Got Stockholm syndrome with the rain now. Got so used to it. But anyway, in the last part of the playthrough, we confronted the witch, and even though we had the witch had said that Giselle had basically was imprisoned or couldn't come to save us, she was able to come with the last bits of strength that she had. She was able to come and hold on to us and give us the strength we needed to kind of break through one last time to finally reach the witch. But I think the implication there was that she used the last of whatever energy her spirit had left in doing so. But she had left by while saying that she was always going to be with us, which I've not really thought about it till now. But it sucks that that's happened. But Michel has not had too much time to think about it, because he now stands in front of the witch on the top of the tower, and this time we're going to find out the truth, the actual truth of who the white-haired girl was, or who the white-haired girl is. Because up till now, in the beginning, we thought it was a random she was just a random person that would keep on appearing, and then after hearing Michel's story, I was quite convinced that she was Michel, or at least related to Michel. Or it looks like that might not be the case, and that might have been a tale woven by the witch to try and fool us, and also like as a way to make us feel more miserable, and potentially a way for us to side with the witch. Because what seems to have been happening all the way up to now is that the witch is continuously trying to break us down to the degree that we will just stay with her, in the way that she did with Giselle after Michel died against the three knights, one of them being his brother. When Giselle couldn't stand it, the witch came to her, and Giselle took the option to continue to be with the witch and wait until Michel came back. But that was also the witch kind of taking advantage of Giselle and having someone with her this whole time. But now I think the witch is trying to do that with us again. In the beginning, we kind of were stuck in the house, the mansion, because that there's nothing we could do about it. But when the option came that we could escape, the witch started to panic. So here we are at the top of the tower, confronting the witch. Hopefully pulling the final curtains back on the story of the witch. But anyway, I have rambled for far too long. Let me just switch to the full screen and let's get into this. So, the final door. The beginning. And if I could... 1 second. Oh. Okay, hopefully it'll work now. Yes. The final door, the beginning. Let's start. I brought you some food. Ah, this is the witch's story again. Yes, we had confronted the witch, and I think we entered a door to the final story. You have to eat something. You barely touched your food yesterday. Come on, please. Just leave it there. Her hands aren't bound. She can eat whenever she pleases. But there's 3 people there. She's not going to last much longer. The boy has a point. If you won't eat, we lose our supply of blood. Ah, yes. That's not what I meant. Leave it there. Well, we'll be back. What is this story? So this looks like, what's her face? The sister of... I've totally forgotten their names. It's flowing. The brother and sister from the first story, who are also the brother and sister in the witch's story, the brother of whom took the blood of the witch to give to the sister for her to continue to live. I think they were royalty of some sort or something. Do you really have to go? Yeah, things are pretty hectic right now. And when do you suppose you'll be back? Tomorrow, same time as today. And you'll have enough time to talk then? Will you? Yeah. Are you hiding something from me? You're acting kind of funny. You're my sister. I wouldn't keep anything from you. You're not yourself, though. What's so different about me? Well, you're not acting much like a prince. Nellie, that was her name. I think. What was... Well, in the first story, what was the brother's name? Maybe come to me later. Ah, right, of course. Don't worry, I'm still your prince, same as always. Good night, Nellie. Oh, she has the same name. My princess. How did I end up in this mess? I never wanted this. All I wanted was a quiet life. Someone get me out of here. Wait, what's going on? Take this thing somewhere far away. Tell me I'm not the bad one here. Oh God, I'm begging you. Just make it all go away. Someone, anyone, get me out of here. What? So the house we saw in the background where Nellie, the girl, was just a second ago, that was the outside little house that the guard was living in. The guard who was keeping an eye on Michel, making sure that Michel did not escape from the mansion. I'm wondering, this nun. Look, look! The stars! They're beautiful. Though with it so bright, I worry someone might see us. Everyone's long gone. What is going on here? I mean, clearly the nun looks like Giselle. I hope so. Are you ashamed? A little, but I still want to be with you. Have you ever considered leaving the convent? A convent? You can't just stop being a nun, you know. It's not that simple. I've made vows, sworn my life to the service of God. I was not aware. I don't know how much this land's traditions. Wait, I think I misread that. I don't know much about this land's traditions. Wait, so we're a foreigner? If I were to leave the church, it would have to be in my next life. I'd like to be a normal girl, lead a normal life. Get married, have kids, and before I know it, I'm an old lady. Thinking, it was an uneventful life. But it was the best I could have asked for. That's my dream. That sounds very peaceful. I hope we can be together in our next lives too. Have a nice, quiet life together. It'd be a city on the water, looking out over a beautiful, glimmering emerald sea. The blue sky spreading as far as the eye can see. The sound of the seabirds squalling by the port. The two of us sitting shoulder to shoulder, just looking out over the city. Doesn't that sound wonderful? It certainly does. I would love that. Is that the second man, the beast? The harvest festival. On the day of the festival, I'm so confused. 3 days until her death. Was that the 3 men? So the nun, could that have been, maybe it wasn't Giselle, a reincarnation of the woman who loved the beast? Because he was a foreigner as well. And then we had Nellie and her brother. And the first one was, could he have been the rich guy? God, I've forgotten all their names. I feel terrible. Wake up. Please wake up. Come on. Open your eyes. Michel. What? Ugh. So bright. I'm outside. The light feels like needles in my eyes. The first thing I see beyond the mansion's darkness is blinding light. The sun glares mercilessly overhead. A gentle breeze blows past, and I hear birds chirping from several different directions. Each breath I take fills my lungs with the scent of earth and grass. So much time has passed since I've been in the light. I almost feel like I'm alive again. No, not almost. What's going on? What on earth is this? The era Morgana lived? I quite like that we're seeing the avatar or the image of Michel in the side now. They've changed the the way the kind of the user interface is a couple of times for effect, and I quite like it. Michel. Huh? Oh, thank goodness, you can hear me. Good morning, Master. I hoped you slept well. Giselle? Is that voice really you? I swear it's me, 100%. Not that mean old phony. So don't worry. No, I believe it's you. I just was not expecting to be able to hear you here. I did say I would always be by your side. I'm relieved. But where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. Well, not exactly sure myself. You don't know? I don't know how to describe it. It's pitch dark all around me, like a black smoke churning in the darkness. It feels a lot like inside the mansion, but I don't think I'm actually in the mansion. So you're still trapped in the void then? I can see a shimmering light off in the distance through the fog, and I can hear sounds coming from that direction. It's like the outside world is leaking through the light. I can see the trees rustling, hear birds singing. I can't see you though, so I assumed I was seeing through your eyes, and I thought I'd try getting your attention. So that means you can see everything I can? Seems so, though I don't think I can see quite as clearly as you. I wish I could be here to feel this too. I wish you could be here to feel this too, experience it in my place even. It's a bizarre sensation. While I could see and feel the world through the other doors, it was strictly in the capacity of an observer. We were merely watching, not actually present in the tales. But this time, it's like I've been resurrected and dropped into the world as a participant. It's also vivid. Everything the mansion lacked is all here, and I can feel it so clearly. I wish you could have been the one to experience this. It's okay, Michel. I know you'll dispel this darkness I'm in, won't you? I will. I'm more than happy just being able to hear your voice and being able to see what you see. It's like a miracle. I too am glad to know you're there, to have the chance to hear your voice again. Thank you so much for saving me. If you hadn't shown up, I wouldn't be here. Oh no, I should be thanking you. I was overjoyed to learn how much you really cared about me. There are so many things I want to say right now, so many things I want you to know, so many things so many thank yous and so many I love yous. Hey now, is that really the best response you've got? Surely you can do better than that. You're embarrassing me. I am somewhat disappointed by one thing though. I can't get any hugs or kisses since I'm not there in person. Oh come on, you're not very good at this, are you? And you're not very good at picking up on how much you're I'm sorry. And you're not very good at picking up on how much you're embarrassing me. I'd expect, at the very least, a me too. We should start figuring out when and where exactly this is. You're not even trying, are you? I'm doing the best I can. Please don't ask any more of this from me. It's okay though. I might not be able to see you, but we're together either way. You know, Michel, I think I might be able to help too. While I can't be there in person, I can give you ideas, another point of view when you're not sure about something. With the two of us together, we'll find a way through this. Yes, we will. Where to begin? What do you say we get our bearings? List out exactly what we need to take care of. That's not a bad idea. I'm a bit frazzled at the moment, to tell you the truth. What? Why? I had assumed we would just be observers, like with the other doors, searching their memories for clues. I never expected I'd actually be thrown into their era. True, it's not at all like the other doors. No matter how the rules may change, I'm seeing this through to the end. If our guess is correct, and we have arrived at Morgana's past, then we need to uncover the truth behind those events. Or rather, the three men's circumstances. What they felt, what drove them. My gut tells me there's something to be found there that even Morgana doesn't know. I could be wrong, And it's possible that even if I am right, what we find won't do anything to quell her hatred. But we won't be talking her out of it, that's for sure. Words won't break through that kind of animosity. We need something bigger. Something she could never have imagined. Something that will turn her entire world view on its head. The white-haired girl might be a good place to start. She showed up at the mansion again and again, as though led through by some supernatural force. She was involved with all 3 men in some way. Oh man, this all makes sense. Oh, it makes so much more sense for the witch to have been the white-haired girl. To be involved with the 3 men that had supposedly ruined her life in some way, made her the spiteful spirit she is today. Anyway. I can't think of anyone else with such deep ties to both the mansion and the men, but at the same time, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Morgana we know and the white-haired girl could be the same person. They are about as different as 2 people can be, which actually leads me to believe there's something there. There must be something. Some secret we haven't figured out yet that we can use. So let's find it. It won't be easy. If we are in the past though, I wonder, maybe we could change it? This could be a huge chance for us. Change the past. Yeah, we could prevent Morgana's death, or we could stop whatever led them down this path. There's an idea. If it's actually possible, maybe we can do something. But then wouldn't that stop them two from meeting in the first place? The question is this world really? Now I'm getting kind of pumped. I've got my game face on and I'm ready to do this. It doesn't do much good if no one can see it. Wait one sec. I feel a cough coming on. It's a figure of speech. Okay, first things first, we need to find the mansion. Morgana should be at the top of the observation tower, and the 3 men shouldn't be too far off either. So the question is, where are we? Do you recognise the surroundings at all? I never really left the mansion, so I'm not especially familiar with the lay of the land. Give me a little spin, would you? As she requests, I slowly spin around in a circle, and through the dense woods I spot a cluster of what appears to be stone formations. Squinting to get a better look, I realise they're buildings. It's decently far off, but appears to be the edge of a city. I think that might be the village I stayed at for a while. It's a bit big for a village. Don't you remember that Amity said, or what Amity said about the village's history? Amity, that bastard. Michel, you didn't think something uncharacteristically vulgar just now, did you? Wouldn't dream of it. Yes, I remember. He said it was once much larger, and that it was destroyed in a single week by the witch's curse. Except rather than a curse, it was probably disease. If that's the same city, then it fits with what Morgana said happened. I believe he also said something about there being a large bridge on the outskirts of the city, and that following the path from there would lead to the mansion. So let's head down to the city. Alright. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are you nervous you might have to talk to someone? Don't worry, you've got me here. Don't treat me like I'm antisocial. I love this. Don't treat me like I'm antisocial. You're not? No, that's not what's bothering me. It's something about this whole thing feels off. This world we're in. Never mind. I'm probably overthinking things. But now's not the time for that. We need to get moving. Let's go. Rather than waste time fretting over details, We need to get to the mansion like she said. Everything else comes after that. With each step, I can feel the earth compressing beneath my feet, the grass flattening. As I weave my way through the trees toward the city, the sensation of having a living, flesh and blood body slowly returns. Mel, that's his name. Nelly and Mel. This is like an older Mel. This is awkward. A white-haired man just appeared out of nowhere. And he's talking to himself. Oh, for fuck's sake. Gotta get away before he does something. Hold it right there, Mel. You don't get to call me crazy and just run off. How do you know my name? How? Why wouldn't I? We were just in the mansion together. Huh? Mansion? What are you talking about? Right. He hasn't become the shadow in the mansion yet. I doubt I would forget seeing someone as unusual as you. Who are you? And where did you come from? Where? I'd like to know that myself. Say something, Michel. He's not getting any less suspicious of you. You have to come up with some way to break the tension. Improvisation isn't exactly my strong suit. Oh my god. What the hell are these options? You bet I'm gonna say scum for this. Right, what the hell are these options? I don't think that's gonna end well. I was sleeping. Well, I'll go with that. It sure looked like you just popped out of nowhere. You imagined it. It was so sudden your mind misinterpreted that you saw. Is that too much of a stretch? Yeah, you're right. Must have been seeing things. People can't just appear out of thin air. On nice days like this, I'll sometimes climb a tree and take a nap too. Okay. And then roll over and fall flat on my face. And you survive that, okay? That sounds like a pretty nasty fall. So I can relate. Michel napping in a tree? I can't even imagine it. Me neither. Also, it would seem that, like Morgana's, I'm the only one who can hear Giselle's voice. But that doesn't explain how you know my name. You know, you look a lot like an acquaintance of mine. Imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name too. That's definitely pushing it. Oh yeah, that happens to me every now and then too. What? Jeez, you had me spooked for a second there. While on one hand I'm glad he bought it, I feel perhaps he's a little too trusting. He's the kind of guy who just keeps on walking when he runs across something out of the ordinary, pretending he didn't see a thing. Not the most admirable of traits, but we're in the clear. I assume you're from the city then, if you're out here. Actually, no, I'm a wanderer of sorts. Huh. Ah, did you come by to see the Harvest Festival then? Harvest Festival? You don't know about it then? 3 days from now we're holding a festival at the church to celebrate the spring harvest. 3 days. Morgana died when the bell tolled noon on the day of the festival, which means she's got that much time left. This will be the first time we've held the festival, so we're hoping to make it into a big event, something really memorable. This will be the first time we've held the festival. Okay. The young girl was dying behind the scenes of this seemingly pleasant celebration. If her death is 3 days from now, that might give us enough time to do something about it. Could I ask you to show me the way to the church? I would like to join in on the festivities. Sure, yeah. Of course. Church's doors are open to all, Friends and family and wanderers alike. It's not far. Follow me. Thank you. Wait, is Michel talking out loud to himself every time he talks to Giselle? In front of this guy, and this guy's going, oh my god, this person is insane. On top of having amazing white hair and red eyes. Oh yeah, I mean, he has... I forget, Michel has red eyes, which would be quite daunting to people who are not used to seeing that. It didn't occur to me until now, but this really is a strange experience. This is a boy from a completely different time period, who I would have never had the opportunity to meet. If he's here, then presumably the other two are as well, which means Morgana's wish for their reconstruction was actually granted. The smell doesn't seem like any different a person than the one I observed through the first door. Yet he played a part in Morgana's imprisonment. I have trouble believing he would voluntarily involve himself, though. I was scared for a time there. That could have gone a lot worse. Plus, he managed to make contact with Mel in record time. Looking at the positives, eh? She's interacted with him and the others before, so I guess this doesn't feel as strange to her. Ah, you don't want him to hear you talking to yourself again. That's why you're not saying anything to me, isn't it? Actually, I think I can talk to you without speaking. Can you hear me? How are you doing that? I have a lot of experience talking to ghosts. That really drives home how bizarre things were for you in that mansion. Were you not in similar circumstances when it was you and Morgana together? Look at that vacant stare. Yeah, now that you mention it, what a bizarre time we've both had in that mansion. Yes, well, you're just now realising this. So, what's your impressions of it? My impression? That he's the same Mel as always. In a little more detail. He's an amicable young man. Nice enough to show a complete stranger around. I agree. In Morgana's version of the story, he betrayed her. But he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would enthusiastically do something so malicious. He had to have had some reason. And we need to figure out what that was. The question is, how do we go about it? We hardly have enough time to earn his trust and convince him to tell us himself. I'll just have to put the knowledge I already have to good use. Oh, that reminds me. Something that might explain it. No, about Morgana. When you were alive, she was always right there with you, like I am now, right? Whenever it struck her fancy, yes. She didn't seem to care when or where. She would just start talking whenever she felt like it. Oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare. But whenever. For the most part, yes. Anytime she wanted. Giselle? You don't have to worry about that with me. She's feeling self-conscious. I know when to keep my mouth shut. Promise. What? You said you feel like you're alive again, right? My five senses all seem to be in working order. Which means you'll also be getting hungry, tired, sleeping, you'll, you know, what, take a crap? Oh, there you go. You'll have to go to the bathroom. Don't make this awkward. I'll be polite and close my eyes and plug my ears while you're doing it. Thanks. What would possess her to bring that up? Does she even realise what she's saying? Oh gosh, now I'm red as a tomato. That answers that. Moving right along, we need to discuss how we're going to go about this. Right, that. The Harvest Festival is our deadline, which doesn't give us very much time. We need a plan for when we arrive at the mansion. How about we split their secret? We spill their secret. Tell everyone about the girl they've got locked up in the tower and force them to set her free. Surely they wouldn't stand for that. Perhaps, but would anyone believe me? Ah. If I walked in and said I came from the future and I know what's going to happen, would anyone actually buy that? Yeah, I mean, some people might, and then they'd just burn you at the stake as a witch. Sure, but enough's convincing. Even if I did manage to convince them, the tower door was locked in Morgana's rendition of the tale. You need 3 keys to get inside. Mel should have one of them, but... Wait, that's so weird. Is that still going to be true that you needed 3 keys? And that Mel has one of them? So he's aware that... That was the 3 men? Of course. There was 3 men at the beginning of the tale who were all talking while giving her food. Damn. Right, that's such a weird arrangement. Why would the king, who I'm assuming owns that mansion and therefore the tower, have it locked with 3 keys that he would share with a young boy, Mel, and the monster, the crazy dude, who is apparently having an affair with a nun. Intriguing. Stealing his alone won't be enough to get into the tower. True, if Giselle's right and we can save Morgana and change the future, then that would indeed solve everything. But something about this whole situation still doesn't sit right with me. I have to do more than just set her free of that tower. I have to find the truth as well as I initially set out to do. Regardless, I would like to try and stay on everyone's good side as much as possible for now. Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help. I appreciate it. I mean, as you know, conversation is not exactly my strong suit. Which means it's my job to hit the brakes whenever you say something stupid. It's a bit too late if I've already said it. Anyway, step 1 is to get ourselves into the mansion. We can't hope to make contact with the other 2 men, much less Morgana out of there if we're not staying nearby. I'll do what I can. We're almost there. See the big building in the distance? That's the church. It is the same mansion, as I suspected. Seeing it now, knowing what horrible things happened there, is so disheartening. Are happening as we speak. In the tower we see in the distance, Morgana's locked up, all alone. I wish we could just march in there and set her free. I admire that, both Giselle and Michel still care enough for Morgana to want to set her free, considering all the pain that Morgana has made Giselle and Michel go through. Retelling their stories, and with Giselle especially having to live for hundreds and hundreds of years waiting for Michel. Admirable. I couldn't be as strong. If getting into the tower were our only goal, we could probably force our way in with a little work. Is something the matter? Mel, I could probably overpower him and get his key. Hello? But the other 2, that almost certainly wouldn't work for. Can you hear me? Oh yes, sorry, I was lost in thought. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? What does? I mean, it doesn't look much like a church. At a glance, you'd think it was some noble's estate. So it does. I've spent so long there, it never even occurred to me. I was pretty surprised when I first saw it myself. A peculiar place, all told. There's a chapel inside the mansion, with this gorgeous stained glass window. It's quite the sight. Do you know why it was built like that? I'm not actually sure myself, no. I'm kind of curious about that as well, because it's weird that there's like a chapel inside the mansion. It's a weird arrangement. Anyway, I'll show you to the chapel. The Saintess should be there too, so I can introduce you. The Saintess? You've never heard of her? Everyone around here knows her. She's a nun at the church and everyone calls her the Saintess. I remember something about this. She was mentioned in the story, actually. Briefly. She's practically our own religious figure. Oh, he's not talking about Morgana. Yeah, for a second there I thought he was referring to Morgana as well. You'll just have to see for yourself. Come on. Alright. On our way to the mansion, we passed through a courtyard of sorts. When I lived here, the area was overgrown with weeds. Apparently they kept it in better condition in this era. Following Mel's lead, we head through the chapel entrance. Oh my. I'm at a loss for words when I see what lies on the other side of those all too familiar doors. While it was barely recognizable as a place of worship in my memory, just 2 columns of battered pews and some piles of rubble. The room I'm looking at now is unequivocally a chapel. So this is what it used to look like. I wonder how far back this is from when we lived. It has to be more than a decade or 2. Maybe 100 years or more? The views and beliefs about the world prevalent in our time are not so different than those of this time. Perhaps the chapel was destroyed in the aftermath of the Harvest Festival. When I was first sent to the mansion, there were signs that repairs had been attempted. The stained glass window is behind the pulpit. I'm guessing, though, we can't see it from here. And right next to it is the door to the observation tower. There she is. There's no priest here. She runs the church. Interesting. So there's not a priest running the church. It's a nun. You want to talk to her first if you're planning to participate in the Harvest Festival. I'll go fetch her for you. Whisking his way between the pews, the boy disappears into the back of the chapel, returning with a nun in tow. When I see her, my face twists for a brief moment. Good afternoon. You came to see the festival, I hear. It's wonderful to have you. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Giselle, but is that who I think it is? I'm all but certain at this point that all the major players from behind the 3 doors are present here. Wait, it's not Giselle? Who else was there? So there was Nellie. There was the woman who had betrayed the white-haired girl. Is it her? She was a nun or something. Not just the 3 men whose shadows remain in the mansion, but also the women who are important parts of their lives. Oh, now I need to remember. So there was the friend of the rich guy. She was insane, and basically, did she not shoot him or something? There was Nellie. Oh, so this woman's supposed to be the woman that was in love with the Beast. Maybe that's it. I just assumed she was Giselle. Well, which kind of doesn't make sense. Though dressed differently, the way she speaks and the way she holds herself resembles a woman killed by her lover behind the second door. Yeah, the Beast. They're all connected. What we thought were 3 separate tales, all stretched back to a single point in time before our own. There's something the matter. She had wanted to live a normal life in a city near the sea. Did she not live in a city near the sea? Or did she? I can't remember. I know when she went searching for the Beast, or for her fiancé, she came to a town close to the mansion, and that was by the sea. No, I was just thinking how unusual it is for one nun to be managing an entire church all by herself. Ah yes, that's the usual reaction from new visitors. Even I think this assignment is a bit over my head. Assignment? Ah, well, I was at another church before this one. A smaller building, and I wasn't the only nun. but the lord of the land ordered me to transfer to a new, larger church he was opening. So here I am. The lord. Wait, is the lord? Wait a minute. Yes, the lord would be the rich man. Oh, no, I need to... Right, I'm gonna have to check this up at some point. There's plenty of space on the property, more than enough to provide shelter for orphan children and aid for the sick. It seems rather vacant from what I've seen. Yes, about that. We used to take people in, but circumstances have made that difficult of late. What kind of circumstances? It's not something I can discuss with an outsider, sorry. I'm guessing it has something to do with Morgana's imprisonment here. Do you think she knows about Morgana? I would guess not. The men swore to keep it between the three of them. So she's being forced to oversee the mansion, completely oblivious of what's happening here. Which isn't to say she's not connected to it in some way. If she's the girl from the second tale, then she should be close with... Is something troubling you? No, my apologies. I got lost in thought. You don't look it, but you're actually a bit of a daydreamer, aren't you? Daydreamer? Mel would fit that description much better. Mel would fit that description much better. Oh my god, why did you say that out loud? But why? Do I really look like that much of an airhead? Ooh, I can see that. Someone has to watch out for him, or he's likely to lose his head in the clouds. I really don't think I'm that spacey. I'm not trying to say you're spacey, I just feel like I've got to keep one eye on you at all times. It's a lot like what I imagine having a little brother would be like. I am an oldest child? Okay. I am an oldest child, you know. What's the big deal? You don't want a big sister? Well, I want you to be my little brother. I mean, why not? I don't want to be just a capital S sister to you, okay? That's so stiff and formal. No, I want to be your sister's sister. Why? I mean, that's a bit weird. Okay, whatever. I'm a little old to be playing make-believe. Oh, come on! They're quite friendly with one another, it would seem. Oh, I know. Why don't you become her brother then? What? What? Yeah, same reaction. Now she's looking at me. What? Will you? I will not. Besides, I'm clearly the oldest one here. Why not? I don't think it matters who's older than who. You don't really act all that old anyway. I have at least 10 years on you. Well, at least Giselle's enjoying this. Your youngest child's insecurity is showing. But insecurity? You two are pretty good friends, huh? We can discuss the veracity of that claim later. I would like to ask you a favour. What is it? I'll gladly help with anything I can. Could I perhaps borrow a room until the day of the Harvest Festival? I don't have anywhere to stay. Or a source of income for that matter. Ooh. I know it would be taking advantage of a generosity, but I only mean to intrude for a few days. I'd be more than happy to offer you a place to stay at any other time, but right now I can't let you stay here. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that would have been too convenient. Well, damn, so much for that. Don't let one little no stop you. Keep pushing. Fair enough. Put on a show, earn her sympathy. She's a lady of the cloth. If you make her feel bad for you, she'll offer you her aid. Giselle, what the hell? Put on a show? You expect me to act? I'm having another episode. And I was so sure this church would be able to help. That's not going to convince anyone. Quite you. He was perfectly fine in our walk here. Oh. Shut your mouth, boy. As I said, we did once offer a place of respite for the ailing and needy, but regrettably, for the time being, we are unable to take anyone in. What I can do, though, is give you medicine. Since we can't let people stay here, with the Lord's generous assistance, we've been handing out medicine instead. So all you do here, then, is give people medication? Yes, I suppose that's what it boils down to. I'm honestly not sure why we're not allowed to offer shelter right now, but we are still able to provide assistance to those in need, so I assume it's just a temporary measure. We'll be able to take people in again before long. And with how much he's done for the church, it's not really my place to complain about his decisions. I truly am sorry. I hope you understand. I'm supposed to ask for a tithe in exchange normally, but just this once. It's yours, free of charge. Could you tell me more about this medicine, please? It's called Saint's Blood, and it'll cure any disease. Saint's Blood. It's not real blood, of course. That's just what it's called. It sure sounds divine, doesn't it? No, that's not true. Huh? It is real blood. What do you... sorry to butt in. Do you mind if I bring him back to my room? I don't think I mentioned it, but he's an old friend of mine. Oh yeah, all of a sudden we're friends, eh? We've got a lot of catching up to do. All right. Hey, come on, this way. Well, that sure got quite the reaction out of him. And now he's incredibly leery of you. When she mentioned the blood, I couldn't stop myself. I probably should have kept my mouth shut, though. Understandably, you couldn't. I mean, when you know what they're doing here to Morgana, Mel doesn't say a word the entire way. His smile has retreated, and there is a hint of fear lurking beneath his now stony expression. I spend the trek through the mansion's corridors, pondering how to answer the questions I know are coming. How to solve the problem I put myself in. We enter a bedroom, presumably his, and he closes the door behind us. I can see the distrust in his eyes as he glares at me. I have to ask, who exactly are you? Why did you say that back there? That saint's blood is actual blood. In response to his pressing eye. Oh, we have an option. Well, yes, save scum. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible person. No, let's save after it. Look at all these options. Yeah, let's not tell him everything. Let's tread carefully. We don't have much time, but it's in our best interest to tread carefully. There's too much we don't know yet. It would not be wise to make a rash decision. With him as tense and suspicious as he is right now, it won't be easy to get his key or persuade him to tell us how he ended up here. Furthermore, my experiences with the Three Shades tells me that if I'm not careful, I could be putting myself in unimaginable danger. A brief flash of what may have happened had I spoken too soon crossed my mind, sending a chill down my spine. If I want to get Mel on my side, I'm going to need something more, something decisive. I think that's all that will convince him he needs to come clean and set Morgana free. Right, so that sounds like I came close to a really bad ending there. Regardless, being cautious isn't going to mean much if I can't get them to let us stay in the mansion. We need to be nearby to keep an eye on things, gather information. How to go about that, though? Assuming he's not voluntarily involved, maybe all we have to do is ask for his help in setting Morgana free and he'll work with us. Perhaps being so direct will only invite more suspicion, but she's probably on the right track. When I met his shadow, it was burdened with great regret. He begged me to help him. My remark about the saint's blood was based on stories I once heard about a person whose blood was said to have healing properties. Stories? Maybe they haven't made it out this far, I don't know. But they tell of a girl born in a distant village, a saint and the daughter of God. I thought that perhaps the nun might be the saint spoken of in the stories, and I was hoping for the opportunity to see a miracle performed with my own eyes. I have to say, you looked more angry than excited. Damn. That makes perceptive. I didn't hide it very well, I guess. Maybe it appeared that way to you, but I've never had a very friendly face. Can relate. If you say so. As long as you're telling the truth. Technically, yes. I myself have to wonder. Why did my remarks seem to bother you so much? What? Is there something more to this saint's blood than you're telling me? No. Something that would make you want to get me alone and interrogate me? There's nothing. I just, didn't want to scare anyone with all the talk of blood since there's not actually any in it. And I didn't know about the story, so... It's just medicine, I swear. As you say. It's got nothing to do with the saint in your stories. To change the subject, could I ask you to convince the nun to allow me to stay here? Huh? Weren't you listening? We can't take anyone in right now. Which is why I'm asking for your recommendation. You live on the premises, don't you? I'm more a supervisor of sorts. Then you should have some say in the matter. Why? Until the Harvest Festival is all I'm asking. Why not get a room at an inn? If you need money, I'll spare you some coin. Wait, you've got money? I must stay in this mansion. But why? Those are my instructions. What? You know the stained glass window in the chapel, behind the pulpit. I was named after the Archangel Michael. Sorry, Michel, depicted there. The angel came to me in a vision, instructing me to watch over the festival here. From where you were standing, you couldn't possibly have seen the window in that much detail. You couldn't... Oh, I get it. You've been to the church before and you're just acting like you haven't. There's a metal door off to the side leading to an observation tower. Yeah, you can see the tower from outside. Inside is a long spiral staircase, not made of stone, but wood. There's a single door at the top of the stairs. How? What are you really here for? All that vision stuff is a lie. I am not here to cause you any trouble. In fact, I am on your side. You show up out of nowhere and expect me to believe your nonsense? All I ask for you... All I ask is for you to allow me to stay until the day of the festival. If you can do that for me, then I'll make you the promise I could not before. I have not forgotten your pleas for salvation. I know you want to be free. Let me guess you saw that in a vision too. If you want to call it that, then you can. I've never once asked for you to save me. You're mad. But, fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway. If I say you're a friend, the Saintess should be willing to accommodate you. Wait, I already told her you were my friend, didn't I? I'll try and persuade her. I don't know what your deal is, but try not to cause any trouble, okay? For your own sake. I won't. Only until the festival. You're not getting another day out of me or her. And this isn't your home, so don't act like it is. Of course. Thank you. You know, I never did get your name. It's Michel. Ah, right, after the Archangel Michel. Just like you said. I've never really cared much for Michel, to be honest. He weighs your soul in one hand on these perfectly balanced scales and delivers its punishment with a sword in his other. He's not an angel of salvation. Out of curiosity, could you perhaps be... No, never mind. It's turned into a bit of a storage area, but there's an open room you can use. I'll show you the way. I appreciate your courtesy. Well, this is just lovely. There are cracks in the ceiling and the walls peeling off. There is a bed at least, but it's coated in dust. This was a storeroom when I lived here, as I recall. Sorry about the condition. I didn't choose a bad room for you on purpose, I promise. If you want to sleep somewhere more comfortable, you're not going to find that here. What? Not a problem. I'm grateful to have a room at all. If you say so. Well, I have work to do, so I should be on my way. I'll talk to the Saintess as promised. I imagine she'll make supper for you at some point. But do keep your crazy talk to yourself around her. I'll make a note of it. Thank you. See you. We made it work somehow. Somehow. It's a lot of pressure being under that much suspicion, huh? My heart was pounding the whole time. And that the Archangel Michel came to me in a vision stuff, I never expected you to go there. Why'd you tell him that anyway? Because I didn't think telling him I know the future and I need your help to change it would have gone over very well. Besides, those who yearn for redemption have a tendency to latch on to the spiritual. I thought taking advantage of that would work to our benefit. You know, I bet you'd make a pretty good con artist, Michel. Oh dear. I did what I thought was necessary. I know. Besides, you have every intention of keeping your promise, don't you? Whether or not Mel can be saved is up to him. I will lend my hand though. Oh, you say it's all on him, but deep down you know you're on his side. We're complete strangers to this Mel, but I can't bring myself to think of him that way. We just met today, but it feels like reuniting with an old friend. He's the same old Mel. And you were actually there, a part of his life, which I imagine makes the sentiment all the stronger. You don't feel the same way? I don't think of him as a total stranger, no. However, nothing. I was about to say something incredibly cynical, but I caught myself. What? It's nothing, don't worry about it. If you say so. I was always the one with nothing to offer, powerless to be of anyone's help. So if anything's motivating me, it's not concern for the boy, but a desire to prove that someone like me can do something. It didn't take much arm twisting to get him to give us a room, so who knows? Maybe he'll come over to our side easier than either of us expect. Him giving us a room was not simply out of kindness. Keeping me nearby allows him to keep an eye on me. He doesn't trust me, but he also doesn't know enough about me to decide what to do yet. He needs time, and doing this gives him that time. If he decides keeping me around is not to his advantage, he will act accordingly. Do you really think he'll do anything to hurt you? Mel's a kind boy, and, well, to be frank, I don't think he has the spine for it. It's hard to say, but even if he doesn't, we still have the other two men to worry about. Nevertheless, his cooperation will undoubtedly be the easiest of the three to gain. We were fortunate to run into him first. What makes you say that? Did you ever have a chance to see the shadows trapped in the mansion? Shadows? I might have. But around the time Hayden Rhodes passed away, I wasn't really there anymore. I stopped thinking, stopped trying to make sense of the things inhabiting the house. I'd become merely another part of the cursed mansion. I was only able to converse with them after I had reclaimed myself. I suppose much like the rules differ between the realms of the living and the dead, so too do they differ for those who have lost their grip on reality. As I was searching for a way to get you out of the tower, I encountered and spoke with the three men, shadows. Of the three, Mel was the least threatening. He bears a great deal of regret. He yearns for someone to save him. I heard him muttering, "This isn't what I wanted." He doesn't want to be involved in this. Someone else is holding the reins. My first guess would be the Lord, but regardless, they are not equals in this endeavour. If he wants out, then maybe he would have agreed to help if we told him we're here to save Morgana. Carelessly revealing our hand at this stage did not seem wise. It would have never gotten to this point. It would never have gotten to this point if it were so easy to stop. So I guess our first task is to earn Mel's trust. Morgana's death is in 3 days. We have until then to get all 3 keys. It won't be easy. I mean, we weren't even present in this world until today. Exactly. We have no one to vouch for us, no one who even knows who we are. But we have knowledge, quite a bit of it in fact. We not only know what happened in this era, but you showed me their next lives as well. From that, we can deduce how they might behave and to whom they have ties. You're right, we do. We know things we should have no way of knowing. And we can use that knowledge to our advantage. Yes, future, power, go. Their various interpersonal relationships are where we can get our edge, I think. They each have their reasons for locking Morgana up. And if I'm right, they're doing it for other people. It's these powerful bonds driving them. Mel's driving force would be his sister, for instance. Are they mere bonds, or is it fate that ties them together? You're right, we should find and talk to his sister. Mel is more likely to act if it's coming from her than us. I agree. If his darling sister tells him to stop, he won't have any reason to continue his involvement. Knowing how the first tale ended makes me slightly uncertain. But for now, we can work under the assumption that he does genuinely care for her. No, I think he cared for his sister, but like, the sister went crazy, man. The sister was just like, I want to be more than your sister. And he was just like, what? It got really... I mean, I don't know if she was pushed because she was being forced to marry some arsehole. But she did go... Did she not wear a wig as well? Oh my god, she did. She put on the wig and she's like, oh look, I'm like the girl that you like. Oh, that was creepy. Would you want to bet she's somewhere nearby? I mean, she will be. It was her death that sparked the chaos on the day of the Harvest Festival. Ah, right, it was. Was it? Why did that spark it? When she passed away, what happened? I thought it was the witch's death. No, they came to the... She died, and did he tell everyone or something? And then everyone went, I can't remember now. No, you're exactly right. But what I was going to say is that people tend to keep those they care most about close by. It would appear I have a bad tendency to focus too much on the facts. That was entirely unnecessary of me. Giselle did not need to be reminded of that. I'm sorry. Huh? What for? for being careless with my words, inconsiderate. No need to apologise for the truth. Besides, you and considerate are like oil and water. And today you're the fire to my oil. We have 3 days to stop this tragedy, so let's get to work. Let's. We'll probably have more luck asking than just searching for her. If we can't find Mel, the nun might know. Off we go. Are we going to go straight away? Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Ah. As I step into the chapel, I see an old man waving to the nun as he heads for the door. The man is practically beaming, and judging by the vial in his hand, he's happy about more than simply having the chance to see her. Is that saint's blood? According to Morgana's account, a disease began spreading through the city at the Harvest Festival, eventually eradicating the population. In a time like this, where medical knowledge is so limited, a plague would be almost unstoppable. And the sight of so many people dying so quickly could appear to them the work of a demon or a curse. We come from the future, so we know just how dangerous this is. But they have no idea. Morgana described it as a tale that could have only taken place in that era of miracles and spirituality. And about that, she couldn't be more right. Could we maybe warn everyone against taking the medicine? I assume the sickness was caused by them ingesting blood, at any rate. It's not medicine they're being given, but bottled disease like some sick joke. Oh! I mean, I did think it was extremely dangerous to ingest another person's blood, but they were saying that it would cure the disease. Even if temporarily, and I was like, what? I mean, what's the explanation behind that? If we could convince him to stop taking Saint's blood, then maybe that would prevent the city from being destroyed. But the fact that it's being distributed in the house of the Lord and peddled as a miracle cure plays right into their deep-rooted spirituality. Would it even be possible to convince them otherwise? Besides, it's not them we came here to save, but... No, that's being too far off our intended path. We need to find the truth and save Morgana's soul. Putting ourselves out like that is going to get us unwanted attention, make people suspicious. And we don't have that kind of time. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It's just, knowing what they're doing to themselves, I couldn't help but think that maybe there was something we could do. Especially considering how it all turns out. I understand the sentiment. Or rather, I understand your reasoning. But for me, Morgana takes priority over any of them. And you over everything. Releasing Morgana's soul should save yours as well, Giselle. If you can eliminate the mansion's darkness, then you won't have to be trapped as its maid. I have no interest in being the hero of the masses. Let's go ask about Mel's sister then. Okay. I turn my gaze back toward the nun to find her kneeling in one of the pews. She bows her head and begins to whisper a prayer. There's no one else in the chapel. Now's the perfect time to ask. Hearing me approach, she falls silent and turns to face me, wearing her usual disarming smile. Hello, Michel. Mel was just here. He told me everything. Can't turn away a friend of Mel's, now can we? Sorry for turning you down earlier. No worries. I did a poor job of explaining myself. So, did you need something? Let me guess. Medicine? No, I'm in perfectly good health, even though you were lying before. I figured you were lying. I can ask her about Saint's blood some other time. And while I have a number of questions about the man she's close with too, right now, Mel's sister's priority. Are you familiar with Mel's younger sister? She has flaxen hair, much like him. Oh, you mean Nellie? Are you her friend too? I would say we're more... You're better off just saying you're friends. Friends, yes. What about her? I would like to speak with her, and I was wondering if you might know where I could find her. Nellie should be down at the cottage, I believe. The cottage? Yep, that's where I stay too. Wait, you stay with Nellie in the cottage? I don't sleep in the mansion itself. So you don't live here, but only work here. Right. For one, there are men who live here. Makes sense. The Lord likes to show up on occasion too, and we can't have a nun wandering around while he's here. Okay. Why is he a dodgy person? I mean, I would say it's... oh well, whatever. So you and Nellie live together then? Yep, we have for about 6 months or so, ever since she and Mel showed up. Oh, this kind of makes more sense when she wanted to be Mel's sister. Because if they're all living in... Wait, does Mel live with them as well? No, Mel lives in the mansion, I think. This is an interesting dynamic. I didn't expect them to be all interrelated like this in this story. Or interlinked, sorry. I wanted to let her stay with her brother, but since this is technically church property, we have to keep the boys and girls separate. I see. I'm so glad to hear Nellie's got a friend, though. What? She's not from around here, so she doesn't have many acquaintances. And with how sick she can get, she doesn't spend much time outside, which is a shame because she's such a sweet little girl. I'm her friend, of course, but I've got responsibilities. I'll only be around so often. So I'm sure she'd be delighted to have someone else to talk to. It would be my pleasure. Could you, tell me the way to the cottage then? Oh sure, it's not that far from here. You go down. The directions I got from the nun lead me to a place I know from my own time. Yes, it's the same building where the man who had been ordered to keep me under surveillance stayed. Sunlight seeps relentlessly through the trees, and I find myself having to look down at my feet as I follow the path. I was right. It was that same place. It's blindingly bright. Painful. How are you holding up, Michel? I'll be alright. The sun's past its peak. In a few hours it won't be nearly as bad. Don't push yourself, okay? Okay. The trek is a reminder of just how inconvenient my body always was. And having this chance to experience being alive again comes with both the good parts and the bad. But now is hardly the time to complain about my sensitivity to the sun. It's not long before we reach a clearing, a small cottage surrounded by a small garden coming into view. And crouching by a flower bed, picking flowers, is the flaxen-haired girl. Are you Nellie? Though several details of her appearance don't match my memory of her, she still has that distinct hair. It could be nobody else. This Nellie is considerably thinner and looks rather frail. The effects of her being ill, I presume. Who are you? My name is Michel. I have a few questions to ask you. Can we talk for a bit? I would have thought she'd have said something by now. You're being way too blunt, Michel. You've gone and scared her. But what else was I supposed to say? You have to approach slowly, carefully. Go on, give her a smile. Uh-oh. A nice, soft smile. Smile? I'm only here to talk. There's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, that is definitely not a nice smile. Can't even see it, and I can still tell. What did you expect? I can't just smile on demand. He's a bad man. A bad man has come to kidnap me. Save me, dear Smell, before this bad man does bad things to me. Calm down, please. I'm not going to do anything to you. Don't get any closer. I know you're trying to do bad things to me. What the hell stories have you been told? I'm not going to do bad things to you. Couldn't even if I wanted to. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Don't move or I'll call the guards on you. But please, calm down. I mean you no harm, honestly. That's what all bad men say. True. Giselle, don't just watch. This would be a fantastic time for a little advice. Got it. Maybe she'll calm down if you mention Mel. You're a genius. I'm a friend of Mel's. But what? He was telling me about you and how you wanted someone to talk to. He asked me to go keep you company. Mel asked you to come talk to me? He did. Do you trust me now? So that makes you his friend then? As much as it pains me to admit it. Michel, what on earth possessed you to say that? A slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue. You and him, is that so? Yes. You're pretty old to be friends with My Mel, okay. Are you really, really, really his friend? Really? Then prove it. How so? If you're really his friend, then you should be able to tell me all about him. Why in God's name would you ever subject me to that? Do you not like Mel, Michel? That's not it. We're just incompatible. Okay, here we go. First question. What does my Mel like most of all? Oh my god, I have to answer this shit. Shit, what was it? Right, she likes... Oh my days. Right. He likes naps. She likes the theater. Mel doesn't give a naps. Yeah, he does. He loves taking naps out under the sun. I love the sun too. It's so bright and shit and pretty. I like the warmer months because the sun's out longer. It makes it easier to spend more time outside. See, not compatible in the slightest. Second question. What kind of person is my Mel? He's not a sycophant or a That's right, he's a very nice guy. He can have his head in the clouds sometimes, but other than that, he's perfect. You know your stuff. To be honest, or just saying what you wanted to hear. No, she would have wanted to say that Nelly was his favourite pastime. Oh, did you say that out loud, Michelle? For fuck's sake. God, me and my big mouth. Okay, final question. Describe what he looks like for me. I mean, okay. Decently handsome. Isn't he? He's like a modern day Adonis. Calm down, Nelly. That might be a bit of a stretch. Mel could be a prince in a fairy tale. Oh wait, they're not a prince and princess. He just calls her princess because she calls him prince. He's got the most perfect face. May I ask you something? You do realize he's still growing, right? And that can change a man in unimaginable ways. You could end up 2 heads taller, shoulders twice as broad and covered in muscle before you realize what's happened. And why are you tormenting her? And body hair, lots of that. Facial hair as thick as these woods. Would you still consider Mel your prince if that happened to him? Mel with a beard and muscles? I wouldn't have it. That's not my Mel at all. Oh my god. She has a type. You're heading into dangerous waters, Mel.
Dear.
My male will never ever grow a beard. I'll pray every day to make sure of it. And he won't get all big and muscly either. There's nothing princely about any of that. Fair enough. I wouldn't mind some muscles myself. I mean, me neither, Michel. Out of curiosity, did you ever want to be buff like that? Buff like that, Michel? Well, yes, of course. If a man wants to be strong and well built, yeah! I don't think the beefy look would work on you. I think Michel would look awesome beefy. I mean, I'm not super beefy, but just like with decent amount of muscle, like his which brother was it? Oh, I forget the names. The knight, they both betrayed him, but the one that was the knight. Well, that's the last of my questions. You're not a complete stranger, it seems. Sure, why not? You can be my male's friend. Okay. Why, thank you. This is great. I was sure you were a bad man. Why is it that the first impression everyone has of me is never that I'm someone decent? Ah, yes, can relate. Any friend of Mel's must be a good person. No, an amazing person. Okay. That's quite the faith you have in him. Why wouldn't I? He's my big brother. That's some circular logic. Is it just you? Is Mel not coming? He's rather busy at the moment. Oh, he always has something to take care of, that Mel. He's hardly given me any attention these past couple of months. I mean, it's pretty bad if you're being left alone in a cottage on, you know, day in and day out. That kind of sucks. But that's okay, because today I've got you to keep me company. And just like, oh no. Yes, you do. I can't stay long though. Yeah. Get the exit story in. Alright, just stay until sundown then. Sundown? You had something you wanted to ask me, didn't you? Well, if you're a good enough friend, I'll tell you anything you want to know. And how do I go about that? Talking. Lots and lots of talking. You have to keep me entertained. Oh my god. Yes. You're asking far too much of me. She's not asking much at all. She just wants to talk. Do you think someone who spent 13 years in isolation knows the first thing about holding a pleasant conversation? Hey now, I was there for a year of that. I'll help you come up with topics, so go on. Oh. Do you not want to talk to me? No, I do. I'm just not much of a conversationalist. Okay, then instead of talking, you can sing. I've never seen a minstrel before, but I've always wanted to know what kind of songs they sing. Will you show me? I've never seen one myself either. Well, I've heard some second-hand accounts of the songs of travelling jongleurs. Very well then. Oh my god, we're going to get Michel singing. I'll teach you a song an old acquaintance of mine heard while travelling. Wee! I can't wait! Oh my god, what is this? Oh shit. Here goes. Oh, thank god you spared me, game. Don't react like that. The silence is deafening. I'm shocked. I don't think I've ever heard someone sing so badly. Me neither. I'm flabbergasted. Let's hear you try then. That's enough singing for today. I don't want my ears to fall off. Ah, kids, they can be brutal. What a vicious little girl. I know, let's bake something. Bake something? Yep, come on inside. I made some nice jam earlier today. Oh, nice. I want to make it into a pretty little pie. Nice. You get to help me with that. Do I get to eat some of the pie? I'm not much of a... Come on, get a move on. You either help or you don't get to be my friend. Oh my god, what? You're such an arse, Nelly. As you wish. This is not going to end well. Right, I think I'm going to just stop at that point there, where we have Michel about to do some cooking, potentially for the first time ever in his life, with Nelly. Yes. That was something. That was interesting. That was also a good laugh. Oh, just seeing Giselle. So Giselle is there. I thought Giselle had gone forever. Seeing Giselle and Michel just riff off each other, and then Mel come into the thing, and then the nun. And the nun is really like, she's really cool. And then Nelly, I forgot how annoying Nelly could be. She is a child after all, a very attention starved child. So it makes sense that she'll latch on to someone's like, oh no, we need to do this, we need to do this. And I feel Michelle's pain. I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. Let's just talk until sundown. No. Yes. Having said that, I can talk until the cows come home. So, but most of the time I don't feel like talking that much. But yeah, this was a rather pleasant part of the game, part of the visual novel. I was genuinely enjoying myself there. So, but we'll see where this goes. In the next part of the playthrough, we'll see where we go. Do we get Nelly on our side? Will Nelly be able to convince Mel? What will happen when we have to get the keys off the other two, who are going to be a lot more resistant? Will we be able to save Morgana? And will it make a difference? Who knows? Tune in for the next episode of Ashmanics in the House and Fata Morgana. Dragon Ball Z, not. Anyway, having said all of that and having enjoyed that, this bit of the playthrough, I'll leave it there for today. I am Ashmanix. This is the House in Fata Morgana. And I will hopefully see you guys next time. Later.